On the banks of the old Rapidan, my friends, where old Rutgers ever shall stand.
Good evening, my fellow Scarlet Knights. My name is LaBelle, and I have the honor of serving each and every one of you as the Rutgers Student Body President. Today is July 4th, the 244th anniversary of the signing of our Declaration of Independence. Enshrined in that document are the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. America has, thus far, failed to deliver on these promises. There is a painful irony that 41 of 56 signers, while fighting for their own freedom, owned enslaved persons. We cannot ignore now that George Floyd and countless others are being denied their most fundamental right, life. Our founders created a country, but the obligation lies in our hands to make the promise of America a reality. Americans of all colors and creeds across the nation have taken to the streets to make their voices heard, and so have Rutgers students. This administration was humbled to stand with the United Black Council, Black Student Union, Iota Phi Theta, and many more student organizations to march proudly at a Black Lives Matter rally on campus. There were over 1,500 persons in attendance, and we registered over 200 voters for the upcoming November elections. Your student government is combating racial injustice and allying with stakeholders like the Black Student Caucus. We are actively working to 1. Implement transparent bias incident reporting so no student ever feels unable to share their story both in and out of the classroom. 2. Creating greater oversight and reform with our student body and the Rutgers University Police Department. And 3. Revisit the Scarlet and Black Project to confront the history of Rutgers slave owners with attention to building names and redress inequities that still exist. While we are battling the disease of racism, my fellow students, I remind us that we are still at war with COVID-19. This pandemic has affected us all, some more than others. We've lost coworkers, friends, family. Having spoken with a student who lost both of her parents, every day the reminder of her loss pushes me and this administration to do more. We can and we must. In that spirit, your student government allocated $125,000 to the RUSA Recovery Fund to aid students in need and support those like Dreamers and international students which the CARES Act failed to help. While COVID-19 represents an immediate concern, we must also address the existential threat of the current climate crisis, which we know disproportionately impacts people of color. As a part of that response, this administration is currently putting forth the Green Act to enact the following policies. First, allocating $5,000 to the New Brunswick Renewable Energy Credit Program to incentivize off-campus students to opt in to 100% renewable energy and provide a form of economic relief. Second, allocate over $5,000 to an aeroponics initiative to grow food sustainably here on campus while helping to eradicate the chronic issue of food insecurity. As long as there is one hungry student, our job isn't done. And third, putting the question to have the Rutgers Endowment divest from fossil fuels and invest in clean energy on the fall student government ballot, so that every student can make their voice heard about the concerns for the future of our planet. In the coming days, we'll be hearing from the university about the fall operating status. I encourage you all to check your Rutgers email this coming week, as well as stay tuned to our social media accounts for relevant information. Regardless of that outcome, we are here to fight for all Scarlet Knights. We have mountains to climb: racial injustice, COVID-19, the climate crisis, and so much more in our struggle to make our Rutgers local and global community the best it can be. Our work is cut out for us, but I know that together we can and will make change. That change begins with all of us, every day and everywhere. I ask you please stay safe and stay in Scarlet Pride.